The neon glow of Hollywood Boulevard pulsed like a heartbeat outside the El Capitan Theater, but inside the Jimmy Kimmel Live studio, the air was thick with anticipation. It was a crisp November evening in 2025, and the audience buzzed with that electric mix of starstruck awe and late-night mischief. Sylvester Stallone, the Italian stallion himself, was in the guest chair. At 79, he was sharper than ever, promoting his latest passion project, Rambo, Legacy of Blood, a gritty reboot where John Rambo mentors a new generation of warriors in a world teetering on the edge of chaos. Sly's eyes, those piercing blue daggers that had stared down villains from Rocky to Expendables, scanned the crowd with a quiet intensity. He was here to talk legacy, not drama. Or so he thought. Jimmy Kimmel, ever the affable provocateur with a grin that could disarm a bomb, sauntered onto the stage to thunderous applause. His monologue had already roasted the week's headline as a Trump's latest tweet storm, Elon Musk's Mars mishaps, and a viral clip of Taylor Swift accidentally endorsing a vegan cat food brand. "Folks, tonight we've got a real treat," Jimmy announced, his voice smooth as aged whiskey. The man who punched his way to the top, took more beatings than a pi 8 tilde plus minus at a kid's party, and still looks like he could bench press my entire writer's room. "Ladies and gentlemen, Sylvester Stallone." The crowd erupted as Sly rose, his broad shoulders filling out the tailored black suit that hugged his frame like an old glove. They shook hands at Jimmy's quick and playful, Sly's firm, a vice grip honed from decades of lifting iron and illusion. "Sly, my man," Jimmy said, settling into his stool, "it's an honor." "Rambo, Legacy." "A year back as the ghost of wars past. What's it like dusting off that bandana after all these years?" Sly leaned back, his signature half-smirk curling his lips. "Jimmy, it's like riding a bike, except the bike's on fire, and you're dodging bullets from drones. But hey, age is just a number. I'm 79 going on 29, still got the fire in the belly." Laughter rippled through the studio, warm and genuine. The band struck up a playful riff from the Rocky theme, and Sly shadow-boxed the air, drawing cheers. For the first few minutes, it was gold. Stories of training montages gone wrong, a hilarious aside about accidentally challenging Arnold Schwarzenegger to a real arm wrestle at a gala. He won, but I made him buy the beers after, and Sly's deadpan take on deepfakes. "They got me fighting aliens now. Hell, I'd take Creed over that any day." But Jimmy, sensing the rhythm, pivoted with the subtlety of a shark. Late night thrives on edges, and tonight, he wanted to dance on one. "Speaking of legacies," he said, his tone dipping into that mock-serious lilt, "you've been vocal lately about Hollywood's woke wave, calling out the remakes, the diversity quotas like in Rocky. It was just you and a side of beef. Now everything's gotta be a TED Talk with explosions. You think that's why your classics hold up? No lectures, just heart." Sly's smirk faded, just a fraction. He adjusted his cufflinks, buying a beat. "Look, Jimmy, times change, but heart, that's universal. Doesn't matter if it's Apollo Creed or some kid from the streets today. Hollywood's lost its balls, though. Too scared to tell a story straight. I gotta wrap it in rainbows and apologies. I fought for underdogs, not hashtags." The audience tittered nervously, a few claps here and there. Jimmy leaned in, eyes twinkling with mischief. "Fair point, Sly, but come on. You've got Creed A. Michael B. Jordan's your legacy now. That's progress, right? Or is it just Hollywood saying, hey, old white guy, step aside for the new blood?" He chuckled, but the jab landed like a left hook. The room hushed, sensing the shift. Sly's jaw tightened, the veins in his neck standing like cords on a suspension bridge. He'd heard the whispers for years, the dinosaur label, the irrelevant stigs from critics who forgot Tulsa King was Paramount's sleeper hit. But this, on live TV, with millions watching? "Step aside," he echoed, voice low and gravelly, like tires on broken glass. "Jimmy, I built this town brick by bloody brick. Rocky wasn't handed to me. It was 20th Century Fox's trash bin till I clawed it out. You think I'm stepping aside? Hell, I'm the one still standing when these pretty boys are crying to their therapists." Jimmy, ever the pro, tried to reel it back with a laugh. "Whoa, easy there, champ. I'm just saying." "No," Sly cut in, rising halfway off his stool, his bulk casting a shadow over the desk. "You're saying I'm past my prime, that my stories don't fit the new narrative?" "What narrative? The one where we pretend grit don't matter anymore, where every hero's gotta apologize for being a man?" His voice rose, echoing off the rafters. The audience froze, phones already out, capturing the unraveling. Backstage, producers exchanged panicked glances as a cut to commercial. Too late, the red light burned eternal. Jimmy's grin faltered, but he pressed on, voice steady. "Sly, that's not what you look. We're all products of our time. You evolved with greed. Isn't that the win?" "Evolved?" Sly barked a laugh, bitter and raw. "You got no idea what evolution costs." "I stuttered so bad as a kid. They thought I was broken, fought for every word, every role, and now some suit in a boardroom tells me to evolve into what? A footnote? Nah, Jimmy, you went too far." He stood fully now, towering like Rambo in the jungle, his face a mask of controlled fury. The stool scrapped back with a screech that silenced the room. "Sly, sit down, Mona, we're good," Jimmy pleaded, half standing, hand outstretched. But Stallone was done. With the final glare that could curdle milk, he snatched his mic pack from his belt and hurled it onto the desk, not violently, but with the weight of decades. "Write your own punchlines," he growled. Then, without another word, he strode off stage, the Rocky anthem ironically swelling in the band's hasty attempt to fill the void. The studio plunged into chaos. Gasps rippled through the crowd like aftershocks. Jimmy, stunned, outlived the week. Well, that escalated quickly. "We'll be right back." Cameras cut to black, but the internet ignited. Within minutes, #Sly Walks Out trended worldwide. Clips exploded on X, TikTok, Instagram, a grainy fan vids capturing Sly's exit in slow-mo, his silhouette framed by the glowing exit sign like a scene from one of his own films. Hollywood reeled. By dawn, the reactions poured in like confetti from a busted pie. 8 +/- Arnold Schwarzenegger tweeted, "Sly's the real deal." "Jimmy, you poked the bear. Respect the stallion." Michael B. Jordan, ever the diplomat, posted a throwback tweet photo, "Learned from the best. This ain't the end-up, it's a new round." At Sly Stallone, champ forever. Even Quentin Tarantino, who once cast Sly in a cameo, chimed in via podcast, "That's pure cinema, baby." Unscripted, unfiltered. Kimmel just gave us the sequel nobody saw coming. But not all were Team Sly. Woke watchdog accounts decried his toxic masculinity rant, while late-night rivals like Stephen Colbert quipped, "Jimmy finally found a guest who doesn't need cue cards to go off-script." Variety splashed, Stallone storm out, a blow to late-night's delicate dance. Deadline dissected, was it ageism or authenticity? Inside the clash that cracked the facade. TMZ, of course, milk it dry with unverified insider scoops. Sly allegedly smashed a water bottle backstage, then called his agent yelling, "Book me on again as somebody with balls." Sly himself went dark. No statements, no socials. He holed up in his Palm Springs estate, the one with the custom gym overlooking the desert, pounding a heavy bag until his knuckles bled. His wife, Jennifer Flavin, found him there at 3 a.m., sweat-soaked and silent. "You okay, babe?" she asked, wrapping him in a towel. He looked up, eyes distant. "Yeah, Jen, just reminded me why I fight. Ain't for applause, it's for the truth." By week's end, the fallout reshaped the biz. Kimmel issued a classy apology on air. "Sly's a legend. I pushed too hard, a lesson learned. Here's to real talk, not gotchas." Ratings spiked 40% for the next episode, proving controversy's cold cash. Sly, he emerged 2 weeks later at the OFI Gala, fist-bumping De Niro and whispering to reporters, "Jimmy's a good kid, but next time, we talk Expendables sequels over steaks." No mix. The walkout became legend, a viral scar on late-night's glossy skin. It sparked debates. Is Hollywood too sanitized? Can icons age without apology? For Sly, it was catharsis, a roar from the ring's edge, proving the stallion still had teeth. In a town built on facades, he dripped one down, bare-knuckled and bowed, and as Rambo, legacy topped pre-sales charts, one thing was clear. Sylvester Stallone didn't walk out. He walked towards something bigger. The fight never